Well, hey pals, Peeps here. Thanks for dropping in today. Today's just going to be a little housekeeping episode. If you're at all like me, you end up, this is my hobby desk, by the way, where sort of everything accumulates or gets sorted, whether it be pickups or cards related to those pickups or packing material or supplies. It all kind of happens right here in this 30-inch square space that I have constructed out of MDO. Bonafide MDO. I know you're interested. Don't be shy. All right, anyway, things accumulate around here, and sometimes I just have to put together a pile and say, hey, let's share this on YouTube. As the pickups relate to, well, they're not all pickups, as the cards relate to portions of my collection, just to kind of give you a sense of my brain, I guess. Is that what we're interested in? Let's be honest. All right, in the background is a card I've never shown before. It's been in my collection quite a long time. It is my copy of the 1965 Topps Giants Rookie Stars, which includes Dick Estelle and Masanori Murakami, the very first Japanese ball player in the major leagues. This is a really beautiful copy. I mean, I don't know if you can get a sense of it here. My lighting's not great, but it's a really well-centered copy, which is definitely something that comes into play in terms of eye appeal on this particular card. But this is a very affordable card, and what's really cool is Murakami got one of those first pitch cards in the 2025 set, which I thought was really cool. Throwing out a first pitch for the San Francisco Giants this past season. I think the image was from 2024, but Murakami being that kind of barrier breaker in terms of Japanese ball players and the impact that we're seeing now. And, it's had me thinking, and I know I'm not alone in this, it's had me thinking of some of the major contributors, and had me thinking about Nomo and Hideki Matsui and Yu Darvish, and of course Ohtani, and there's many more. Even Seiya Suzuki's having a great series with the Cubs right now. So, of course, Ichiro. I mean, how could I forget Ichiro? But anyway, I digress. It's fascinating to me, and this was a really important card to me when I picked it up. And this can be had very reasonably. A really nice copy. Look around if you're interested. I'd say, I would say focus on centering, because that is the kind of primary issue with that one. But that's a beauty. I'm really proud of that one. Did not cost me that much, and I really love that one. Okay, we're going to move on to the stack of cards, the housekeeping task, if you will. We'll start with this one. This is a super cheap card I just got for a few bucks. I think it was less than $3 to my door. Shout out to the Prez, the 2010 Topps. Card number 202. It is a subset called Franchise History. Of course, 2010 being the very first World Series championship for the San Francisco Giants. And what would be the first of three within the span of 5 years. It was a great time to live out there. I was very fortunate to have been out there for all three of those championships, and having had the opportunity to see some of those playoff games and, of course, many regular season games. But this is a beautiful shot of the ballpark. And what's interesting to me is this is almost the exact seat that I would look for when I would go to get tickets to the games. That is third tier, top tier, anywhere between the batting circles was my preference, or the batter's box area. So I love how this card sort of, it's exactly the seats I would look for online. And you know how they give you the view and everything. So this is where I sat. I sort of think of it that way. It's where me and my buddy Ian and Conrad, we would sit many times, and me and my better half, who I won't name because, you know, she doesn't deserve that. Anyhow, this was a fun sub $3 pickup, a numbered, you know, obviously gold, numbered to the year, numbered to 2010. Love that one. Put that over there. A couple stadium images over there. Of course, that's that postcard I showed a while back. I picked it up at a card show showing the old Met, which was the original Twins ballpark before the Metrodome. All right, we got to move on. We're already dragging. We got a 2009 World Series card here from Heritage, and this is the Matsui named MVP. I guess continuing with the sort of big Japanese-born MLB players. I just love this image of Matsui. There are no parallels to this card, which I love. You know, I love parallels, don't get me wrong, but I also appreciate when there simply isn't one. And, you know, I'm pretty sure there isn't one as I talk about it. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think they did parallels for this. This was a subset within Heritage. And I guess this would have been 2010 Heritage. But I just think this is a fabulous image as Matsui wins the World Series and, of course, is named MVP. What a legend. Very cool. Another big moment coming here. We have the, what year is this going to be? 96 Upper Deck. Anyway, we've got the big moment of Cal's breaking of the Lou Gehrig's consecutive game streak record. This is the Upper Deck Silver Signature, so slightly, you know, tougher than the base. But I think this was just a ComC pickup that I had put in a top loader here. But I love how, you know, in terms of card design, I really love how, actually in both of these, they've kind of tinted the backgrounds and blurred them a bit so as to allow for the, you know, the main focus to stand out in their moment. I just think that's a great design choice on both of these. And I love cards of players who are raising an award. In hockey, of course, we get many of them raising the Stanley Cup. And this is just such a great tip of the cap from Cal on that big day. Just love this one. Again, this is a very, this and the Matsui, these are all, you know, $1 or $3 or less. I think the Matsui was, you know, 50 cents or something. So some big moments here, some big history. This isn't random. I've talked about these many times. This is one of the 2001 Topps Golden Moments. Let's get it out of here. And let me try to show this foil a little better. This 2001 Topps Gold foil. This was so cheap. I think it was like it's not in perfect shape, but it is numbered. The very first year, Topps did gold parallels, and this is a subset. I've talked about it before, called Golden Moments, and this talks about Reggie's insane 1977 World Series, and where he hit 3 bombs on 3 pitches, and launched the Yankees to the championship. I mean, this is a no-brainer for me. I think it was like under $4. I think this was just over $3, so I guess I'm breaking the rule there. All right, carrying on. What do we have? I think that's it for the big moments. Next, we have these 2015, I believe, or 2014 rather, 2014 Stadium Club. This is the rainbow foil. Now the rainbow foil for these, it's not the foil board numbered to 25, they did do, I think they did away with this one. They call it the rainbow foil, and it's because the nameplate down there lights up in rainbow foil. I mean, they are beautiful. Anyway, they were, I think they were, you'd get a couple, 2 or 3 in a hobby box. So, not super scarce at all. There's plenty of these to go around. These are really cheap pickups. So it is technically a rainbow foil parallel. And of course, we're showing Jackie here, signing things for the fans. Just such a fantastic image. And this is destined for my Retired Stars binder. Here's the back of that one. I guess you could call that a big moment for any kid that was in the stands that day. I see we got a little theme here. We've got another one. We've got a Johnny Bench from the same year, also a rainbow foil. In fact, now I'm remembering these came from the same seller. Johnny Bench also signing for the fans, likely during that little mini dynasty of the Big Red Machine. Those go together pretty nicely. All right, last but not least, the beginning of a new little mini project. The Topps Black and White. This is a on-demand thing, much like Topps 3D. They've been doing black and white now, I think at least since 2018. I want to say 2018 was the first year. I had looked for a 2018 Topps Black and White Ohtani being the rookie year. I have not pulled the trigger on anything but this one, but the photography in Topps Black and White is quite amazing, in my opinion. And this is the 2023 release. MVP season, of course, for show. And I just thought the image was fantastic. Let's get it out of here. I just love that candid image showing the jersey number, the name, those giant broad shoulders. Those are insane. And then they just do a really nice job. And this year, probably because he was MVP so many times, he gets card number 1 in the black and white set. I don't recall how many cards are in these black and white on-demand sets, but I don't think it's a ton. And of course, they're printed to demand, so that is not a scarce card. However, it seems to be fairly popular because it took me, it wasn't super easy to just go get, at least at the price I was willing to pay. And that little black and white was, under 10, I think it was $8 or something. So anyway, there you have it. I don't know if that was enjoyable. That's a little housekeeping and some odds and ends, some thoughts, some mini collections, some areas of the collection that are, this is sort of the backbone of how I collect, right? and then things blossom from there. So I always appreciate you coming by. Please leave me a comment. I'll certainly respond. And take care of yourselves, and we'll see you next time. Peace.